Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I want to share with you a few essential style tips that I learned from growing up with a Polish mom. My mom was somebody that had a great sense of style. She looked really elegant, very put together, very timeless, chic, and she managed to do all of that on a small budget. And today I want to share with you a couple of tricks, rules that she followed to build a very coherent wardrobe, a capsule wardrobe, and I would say she had a capsule wardrobe way before capsule wardrobe was a thing, before it was a hashtag. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and on that note, let's jump in. The first style lesson that I learned from my Polish mom, and this is such a small thing, but it makes the biggest difference, is to make sure all of my clothes are neatly ironed before I leave the house. And if you are Polish, and I know you can relate, because there's something in the Polish mentality or psyche where we iron everything. If there's a wrinkle, we gotta take it out. Otherwise, the presentation just isn't there. In a nutshell, it doesn't matter how much you spend on your clothing. If it's not ironed, if there are wrinkles, it's just not gonna have the same effect. The human eye focuses on the little imperfections, and that's what people are gonna notice first when they notice your outfit. And it just loses its appeal. As soon as the outfit is wrinkled, it just doesn't have the same effect. And the same thing goes for any buttons that might be hanging. Make sure you adjust them, make sure you sew them back on so that the presentation is there. It's really about the details when it comes to having a great outfit that looks really put together and chic. There's a saying that says God is in the details, and I think when it comes to design or fashion, and style, I think that is definitely true, because you can have a very simple skeleton of an outfit, but as soon as you start adding accessories, little details to it, automatically it just upgrades the whole outfit and brings it to the next level. So make sure you pay attention to these little things. If something needs to be ironed, then iron it. If you need to fix a button, then fix the button so nothing is hanging. If there's a string hanging, just take care of it so that your outfits look really coherent and put together. Another important lesson that I learned from my Polish mom is you don't have to be wealthy, you don't have to have a walk-in closet to have a fantastic wardrobe, to look really put together, to look chic. My mom's closet was just a regular size. It had some sliding doors, and you couldn't walk into it. She also had to share it with my dad, so as you can imagine, she didn't have a lot of items in her closet, but everything that she had just really worked together. It was very coherent. You could mix and match quite easily all of the items, and so it made getting dressed in the morning a lot easier and smoother. And so I think a walk-in closet is a nice to have, but it's not a must-have. And also, a walk-in closet doesn't always translate into a coherent closet. It's really about understanding what items suit you the best, what color combinations look really well with your complexion. And that was something that my mom really understood. She knew what looked great on her, and that's where she invested most of her money. She also knew how to buy items that mixed and matched with each other really well, which takes me to the next point. And another lesson that I learned from her is that before you purchase another item, before you introduce a new piece of clothing into your closet, make sure that it will go with at least 7 other items that you already have in your closet. And if the answer is no, then perhaps it is better not to invest in that garment, simply because when you don't have items that you can mix and match, it just makes getting dressed in the morning so much more difficult. I think we've all been there, where we just stand in front of our closet and we have so many things in there, but we feel like we have nothing to wear. And I think that is the key, just knowing before you purchase something, just stop yourself and say, okay, is this gonna go with my pants, with my skirt? Is this gonna match other things that I already have in my closet? And it's just gonna, first of all, save you money, but it's also gonna save you time in the morning, because when you have things that you can mix and match, it just makes a world of difference. And that way your closet becomes more effortlessly chic, and it's not just a saying, but it's actually a reality, something that makes getting dressed in the morning a little easier, and you don't have to stand there trying to figure out how am I gonna create an effortlessly chic outfit? Another essential tip that I picked up from my mom when it comes to style and looking more stylish is to invest in good quality accessories such as belts, purses, shoes, scarves, jewelry pieces. And when I mean good quality, I don't necessarily mean designer brands. I don't think you have to invest in designer brands to have good quality items. There are many brands out there that produce really good quality items for a lot cheaper or a lot less money. My mom wasn't somebody that was into labels. It just wasn't something that was on her radar. But she really did know how to invest in those key accessory pieces, and it just makes such a big difference when you build an outfit. As I said before, you can have a very simple outfit, just a black turtleneck with a pair of black jeans, but as soon as you put on that jewelry piece, it just transforms the outfit, it just brings it to the next level. The same thing with a scarf, like a nice silk scarf, it just elevates the outfit automatically as well. And when it comes to shoes, shoes are essential, making sure that nothing looks worn out, because no matter how great, how fantastic your whole outfit is, when somebody looks down on your feet and the shoes are worn out, guess what? That is the only thing they're gonna remember from your outfit. So make sure if the shoes are starting to look worn out, just take them in, get them fixed, or if you need to replace them, just replace them. The same thing with your purse. Make sure nothing is falling apart, no strings are starting to hang from the purse, because again, the human eye gets drawn towards that little imperfection and we hang on to it, and that's all we see, that's all we remember from an outfit. So it's really important for all the little details, for the accessories to be in their best shape so that the outfit just looks really coherent and presentable. The next really important lesson that I learned from my mom when it comes to elevating your style is to invest in good quality jewelry pieces. And I do want to stress that my mom did not have a very extensive jewelry collection. She had few pieces, but they were all great quality. Pieces that you can pass on to the next generation, pieces that will never look worn out. And that is something that I think is so important, especially now, because there's so many jewelry brands out there, and many of them are wonderful, don't get me wrong, but there's so many that you purchase an item and then a year or 2 years later they just no longer look presentable, they start to discolor, and you can't really enjoy them. I think it is much better to just save your money and invest in that one really good quality, maybe necklace or a bracelet or a ring, and that way you'll be able to enjoy it, make it something that is maybe special to you, something that you have a connection with. For example, if you've seen my other videos, then you know that I wear this emerald necklace all the time. It is just my signature, I would say, piece, and that is something that I remember a friend of mine, she was visiting from Germany, and she was staying with us for about 2 months, and she kept wearing this same necklace day after day, and I just remember it had such an impact on me. It became part of her signature look, it became this statement piece, and there's just this really beautiful quality about that. And that is something that I learned from my mom, is to invest in good quality jewelry pieces, because they will really take your outfits to the next level. It's such an easy thing, but it has such a big impact on how your outfits look. Another important lesson that I learned from my mom is not to follow trends, but to really get to know which items, what colors, what shapes look the best on your body type, and invest most of your clothing budget into those items. I'm not saying never buy anything that's trending. If something is catching your eye, maybe allocate a small amount of your budget to trendy items, but most of your budget should really be going towards items that are going to be classic, items that you can wear year after year. You will never look outdated, and as I said before, things that you can mix and match, and that way your closet will just be more coherent, easier to navigate. You'll be able to create really fantastic outfits that just look put together and chic, and you will not be spending a lot of times trying to figure out how to do that in the morning, because automatically everything in your closet naturally will just flow, will just go together, and the whole process will be a lot easier on you. Which takes me to the next point, which is try not to invest too much of your clothing budget into items that have a lot of patterns, because patterns can be great, don't get me wrong. I like certain things with patterns, but the rule that I like to follow is to invest 5% of my clothing budget into items with patterns, and then the rest of that budget goes to solid colors. And the reason why you want to do that is because it is really difficult to create great outfits that are chic and elegant and simple when you have a lot of patterns in your closet. Another reason why that's a good idea is because a lot of times, I don't know about you, but with me, I get really bored with items that have patterns on them a lot easier than with items that just have solid colors. Solid colors are a lot more timeless and classic, whereas patterns come in and they go out of style. And sometimes when I have something with a pattern in my closet, after a while, I can't really look at it anymore. And I feel like I just need to get rid of it. And a lot of times I do, because there's just something that is just agitating about certain patterns after you look at them for a long time. So that's just personally, that is just something that I have noticed about myself when it comes to patterns. Let me know in the comments section if you have experienced the same thing. Another lesson that I learned from my mom is that sometimes less is more. Actually, most of the time, I think. There are exceptions to every rule, but when it comes to getting dressed, my mom was somebody that didn't have a lot of time in the morning to get herself dressed like most of us. She was a full-time working mom. She was raising 3 kids. We were also immigrants. We moved to Canada when I was a teenager. So she was trying to learn English. She was trying to navigate a whole new way of life. And so getting dressed in the morning had to be a really quick process. But even with that little time that she had, she always really managed to look really great and put together. And sometimes what happens is when we do have too much time to get ourselves prepared, we start to add different items, we start to add a scarf and more jewelry, and by the end of the whole process, it just looks too much and it just looks too busy. And the simpler the outfit, most of the time, the more elegant, the more put together you will look. I've noticed that when somebody just has too many things on their body, like too many patterns and too many jewelry pieces, and my eye doesn't know where to focus, and so my brain can't comprehend the whole outfit. So I think the key here is just to keep it simple, maybe add a couple of jewelry pieces, but don't go overboard so that you don't look too busy and in the end you don't look like a Christmas tree. Another important tip that I learned from my mom is to invest in blazers. My mom had many blazers to choose from, and for me, blazers are one of those clothing items that just instantly transforms an outfit. It also gives you this boost in confidence as well. There's just something about it when you put it on, you just put on this new attitude, so that's great. Even though I have a closet full of blazers, I keep investing in them because they really do switch up your look. They really add this new element of interest to your outfits. And if you don't have blazers, or perhaps you haven't really been investing in them, I encourage you to do so. The good thing about blazers is that you can really find some great blazers, great quality blazers that are thrifted. Because blazers, when you really think about it, don't really change that much. We might go from, being oversized one season to a little bit more form-fitting the next season, but overall, they really do stay the same. So you can find some great blazers with great quality in thrift stores. So blazers are one of those things that I was definitely inspired by my mom, and I am so grateful for that inspiration because they definitely transform your outfits and just add this special sparkle to any outfit. And the last important tip that I think is the most essential tip that I learned from my Polish mom is to enjoy your nice items. Don't wait for that special moment to bring them out, because for those of you that maybe are not familiar with my channel, or maybe you haven't seen all of my videos, my mom passed away, and you probably got this from the video already, but she passed away a few years ago from a brain tumor. And, she was quite young when she passed away. And I think the lesson here is that we just don't know how much time we have left on this beautiful earth, and we might as well enjoy the things that we have and just be grateful for them and appreciate them and use them. And, I think a lot of times we wait for that special occasion to bring out our best items and share them with the world. But the reality is that sometimes that special occasion doesn't come, because obviously we don't know when our time is up, and it's just important to enjoy them. And that's something that I have to really take into consideration in 2022, because I have a couple of things that are kind of nicer in quality, like nice purses that I keep saving for that special occasion. And especially now during this time that we're living in, sometimes those special occasions don't come around as much as they used to. And I think I just have to take some of my items out and show them the world, because as I said before, we don't know when our time is up. And time is a very sneaky thief, and we just need to make the best of the time that we have on this earth. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful, and please let me know in the comments down below, what are some of the tips, style tips, that perhaps you have learned from your mom, or maybe from your grandma or an aunt, that have helped you on this style journey and becoming a little bit more elegant and put together. I would love to know. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. It's a small gesture, but it helps me a lot. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will see you soon. Bye.